Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Survival Minecraft. I'm going crazy between episodes. I tried recording this episode 3 or 4 different times, and it's just one technical issue after another. We went and raided a Guardian monument, ocean monument. We actually flattened one as well, and I didn't get footage from that. We started a Guardian farm, but I didn't end up getting the resources to finish it and kind of went to do some other things. Ended up dying in another ocean monument, had to go back and get my stuff. We went to shopping and laid down some bricks, tried to, beautify that area a little bit. We ended up showing off a couple shops, showing off a couple things that people have built around that area. And turns out that a lot of the audio didn't record as far as the microphone. It was just all game sounds. And then when I recorded my intro right now to tell you guys all about this stuff, I went and toured around the base as to what we're going to do today. And then that one, I was recording the wrong scene in OBS and it was recording a blank screen. So I had audio, but no video. So it seems like this episode is just taking way longer than usual due to technical issues. But anyways, all that being said, I know you guys don't care about that. You just want to see the Minecraft stuff. Between all those little technical issues and deciding, what I'm going to do with the base and what I'm going to do for an episode, I was kind of getting creative block because one thing after another just wasn't panning out the way I wanted to. But as I'm out here looking around and I realized, I'm doing all these projects outside of the base and doing different, projects here and there, but I really want to finish the base. And that was one thing I've been really big on in past seasons, is making sure that the base looks at least some sort of completion, like these random torches laying around, or some of my initial ideas at the beginning of the season. At least the vision of that can come to fruition, even if it's just partial. At least it looks like it was intentional. It looks like it's gone a good amount of progress. So one of the things that I really wanted to do at the beginning of the season, and I was showing it off in one of the early episodes when I found this area, what I liked about the area was that this big mountain in the middle, and we ended up making the river around it, which is perfect. That's what we wanted to do. But the idea was to have these little bridges come out from the center base and branch out to different areas. So we started one here. Actually, I say started, but I mean finished. We finished one here that goes to a little villager thing. You can see this sticks out a little bit. And that's, that was the idea of what the base was going to be, all these different sections. And we have one here for the portal and one that goes off to this other section that was going to be more of an indoor style, underground bunkers and things, which never really came to fruition. So this bridge kind of doesn't go anywhere. This bridge comes over here to a hangar, which the only thing in here is the concrete machine, which we showed off last episode. And the hangar ended up being too small to fit a full-sized or full-scale Star Wars ship in here. So I think what I'll do to finish this area off is just make it sort of a cargo thing, make it look like there's cargo boxes stacked up in here, and decorate it with armor stands to make it look like it's a little scene, even though it's not big enough for a ship. Maybe it's just a cargo bay or something. And then what I wanted to do to help finish off the area, I fell down. Let's get the trident out because this is my secret weapon for getting out of water. Just shoot up and fly away. But yeah, since we already started these bridges, I want to figure out where I can put a bridge coming from the center section going straight across to over there, and then making that some sort of base section. Even if it's just the facade, like just the outside of the base, and there's really nothing inside of it, just to kind of give it that little look right there that there's more stuff going on over here. Put something like that over there, and then do the same thing over here, which we started a landing pad, which again, I did before we started building a lot of these ships, and the scale was just way off. It's way too small for the size of these ships. So I might actually want to make this bigger. But even aside from that, I think I want to do a bridge coming out from there across and then making another base section over here. So at least, even if it's not a fully functional and fully finished base, at least it looks like the vision that I had at the beginning of the season of what I wanted this base to be. So yeah, over here you can see one of the new ships that Mommy has made. This thing is just amazing. She's been making all these things, and they're all based off a tutorial from, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I will link it in the description because his designs are pretty amazing. And she's been basically using those tutorials for these builds. And that's not to take away any credit from what she's done, because some of these builds have taken her days on end, especially this Millennium Falcon. It's super detailed and took her days and days and days to build this thing, even considering there was a tutorial for it. But You know, in survival, you got to go gather all these blocks, and without a block palette or a system from the beginning that tells you how many blocks you need, it's a lot of grinding away for materials. That's enough talking about the technical issues and plans for the day. Let's go ahead and get started on this base and let's finish it up. All right, I just logged back on after working on the base for a little bit, and I heard this guy outside, and I come out here and he's not shooting me. They don't seem to be paying attention to me or anything, and I don't know why. Do you not want to shoot me? Come on. Come on. Come on. It's so weird. There was two of them. Where'd the other guy go? He went down this way. There he is. Yeah, they're both just staring at me. Oh, there he goes. Come on. There, you can do it. Come on. You got this. Come on. You can do better than that. Let's go. Come on. I wonder if I can sandwich him in the door. Come on. Come on. Well, you want to run away? Come on. Come on. Come get sandwiched. Where are you going? You afraid to come inside? You can't pathfind up the stairs? Come on. Is that all you got? I think you can do it. I think you can do it. For those of you wondering why I'm not hitting them back, I'm just waiting for the thorns to kick in so I don't get the bad omen effect, because I do have a village right on the other side of this building. So he's gone, and you I can take out. As you can see, I've been working on the base a little bit. I added this bridge that goes all the way across to the side over here like I was talking about, and it has a little bit of the facade on the hill. I got kind of in a little bit of a tight spot because the hill isn't very deep, and it's in between two openings. Like there's an opening right here and an opening right over here that I didn't really want to mess with. So I think this one's just going to be empty on the inside. It might have a bubble elevator that takes you to the top, and maybe I'll do a tower up top. But I think as far as this this part of the building, I think it's just, I'm going to leave it as, you know, it's just the front. It's just for looks. It's not going to be a real thing because I don't want to cover up this tunnel. There's really not much room in there anyways. And yeah, I don't want to cover up that tunnel either. There's a square dirt formation here too. So I might do the same thing over here with just making it just for looks, but we'll see how that turns out as I keep building. Can you tell it's a smooth edit when the sun's all of a sudden bright? Oh no. Man, there's like mobs everywhere out here. I should do a better job of lighting this side up. Anyways, I wanted to show you how thick the mountain was and why I don't really want to put anything in here, because the mountain starts here and it actually goes back a little bit, you know, because it indents a little bit as you go up. And then the back side is already right here, and even that side goes up. Actually, this one comes out a little, but you can see there's really not a whole lot of room to work with in here. So even though if I wanted to put something up in here, there wouldn't be much going on. So I don't think at this point in the season it's really worth doing all that work, because I probably wouldn't have anything of value to put in there at the moment. I might change my mind if, you know, if I really get bored enough or I really find something that I want to put in there. But anyways, I'll show you what the outside, because I really want to do a cool entrance on this side, because we don't, I think this side of the base really gets neglected because it's on the other side of this hill, and there's just a big ocean over here, and there's no portals or anybody in that direction. So we're never really over here, but I really think it would be cool to have somewhat of an entrance to this side of the base, even if it's not linked up to anything, just in the off chance, you know, you fly over there and, or in the ocean or something and want to come back, at least from that side of the hill, it'll look like there's something here. So you can see I just started messing with just the cyan terracotta like usual. I'm debating whether I want to do end rods all the way up or the black glass panes like I had been. I showed you last episode how the doorways, I would do the black glass panes and end rods. So I'm going to do something with this. I'm not quite sure what, and then I'll add a piston door on this side, probably the other side, and somewhat of a flying platform, but that's all in due time. Right now I'm just marking out these bridges, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next one, and I'll show you guys when that's done. From the base out to this landing platform, it's just a water elevator that comes from the top floor of where the smelter and storage room is. And I just kind of wanted to show you the thought process and the planning of how I choose where to put these bridges, because there's kind of one coming out on every side now. They're like little spokes of a wheel. And I thought, you know, long term, I wanted to keep these all even so they look cool on a map, like it really would look like they were all parts of a wheel. But I just didn't want to bother with it from the start. It just wasn't worth the fight to me. So I think right here is a good spot on the inside, because we do have a hallway right here. I'll show you that in a second. I'm going back up. I'm going to get stuck in this. I'm in an endless loop of water elevators. Okay, now I need to go to the side here. So on the other side of this is where the super smelter is. On the other side of this wall, that's the little hallway to get to the input system. And this is just, I don't think there's really access here, but I don't know if you can see it, but this is just the center of the base where it drops down. So this was just the top of the base. I was going to put a door here, but where the landing platform was, it needed to go up, and I didn't want to do stairs, so we did it like this. And I'm thinking if I just extended this hallway a little bit, so we are at negative 3807. So even if we went over, say, 3 or 4 blocks, so let's say 3810. If we were at 3810, let me get up this hill. So if we're at 3810, that's right here, and right next to it would be 3811. So these two would be the center, since we're doing center, we're doing 4 wide platforms, except for the angled ones are 3 wide, because that's just the way the numbers work out. So I need to make a way up this hill, because this is already becoming a problem. And let's put something back so there's not mob spawns. Anyways, it's not going to be up this high, but just so we're on the same page, it's going to be a 4 wide path, so this would be the center. And I'm looking over there. It's not really ideal where I would want it to hit. I would kind of want it to hit somewhere that's sticking out a little more, but let's go ahead and zoom over there and just see. If we fly over straight, it would hit right here, 38, 10, and 11. So it would hit right here. We have to take care of this. Oh, you can take care of him for me? It's just mob fight day, isn't it? You kill him, and then I'll kill you back. Let's see. Yep, you're dead. Thank you. So 3810 and 3811. 3810, 3811. I don't think I like how it hits a wall right here and then goes in a massive indent. I probably would want it over, even if it was just a few blocks, just to give it some, the idea that there's something of substance in there. And if I needed to, I could extend this wall out a little bit, but with that way I would have to tear out the mountain, which I don't feel like doing. So I'm thinking more along the lines of right here, which is more 3819 and 3820. So I think that would be a good spot. So let's fly across here and let's see what's on the other side over here that we can connect to. So just punching out the wall right here, you can see there is the smelter right here. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to punch through this side to get to it. But I think if I had a path on the other side completely and just didn't use this one at all, that we could make something work. So let me hop up here without breaking anything. Hopefully I didn't drop any blocks into the smelter, because that would kind of ruin it. So we'll leave that hallway for now. We want to get over to 3820. So luckily right here, it's already at 3920 and 3921, which is exactly where I want it to be. So I actually might use this path instead, even though it's really on the wrong side of the base to have a path going that way. But what I can do is dig a tunnel underground, keep the Y level at 77 where it's at, make a tunnel through this, because it's really not that much to dig out a tunnel straight through. And then that tunnel could have options to connect somewhere else in the base if I wanted to connect that over the smelter, if I wanted to make a way around that, either through that area or even from up here. So I think I'll do that. I'll just dig a hole and make a bridge across, and we'll just call that done for now, because I think that Y level will work and the direction of where that is will work. And we can make something or fake something, really, that there's something there. It doesn't really have to be perfect, but since there's nothing in the center of the base directly connected to where I want this to go, we'll just make it look like there is. It's not that big a deal. It's Minecraft. You do whatever you want. Oh no. All right, so problem number 1 is we are already on top of the smelter, which, because of the paths that I chose, this has to go down 2 blocks, because you have the glass block and you have the terracotta on the bottom. So let's just check and make sure there's no hoppers or anything on this side. It's just the redstone right there, I think, is the highest part. And there's that little bit right there that might get in the way. So let's see. Oh, I'm going to be stuck in the block. Let's see if I go down 2, that's 1, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, that's 1 and that's 2. So I'm going to need blocks here and here. So that will definitely interfere with this. So that's going to be an issue. I might be able to move this redstone, even though it's in the center, and that prevents these from needing hoppers. Maybe I can put it down, but then that's going to cut off the redstone block. So I might have to do a torch tower connected right to here. But I think I can fix that. I think I can work around it without really dwelling on it too much. And then it looks like the end of the hill is already right here. So that'll be pretty simple. not so much digging, actually. Now that this has already been dug out, that actually helps me quite a bit. I'd rather fix a little bit of redstone than do the extra digging. So I think this will be easy enough to go around. Maybe I'll make it a step up. I don't know. Well, either way, we'll get through it. I won't bore you guys with all the details, but I like figuring this stuff out on camera because I know a lot of you guys like seeing the sort of behind the scenes stuff rather than, oh, look, it's done and this is what happened. Instead of talking about it, just show you guys. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep digging and we'll figure this out. I think this is one of those moments where a little planning in the beginning would have gone a long way, because now that I'm looking at it, it would have been really cool to have a visual of the smelter being working, even though it's all on the other side of these blocks and you wouldn't see anything from here anyways. But I think one of the ideas I had, just didn't implement it because of where it was at, was I wanted this to be visible where the smelter was at. It just didn't look very visually appealing when I ended up building this to fit the base. So yeah, lack of planning kind of ruined that for me, and you don't really see the smelter, but that would have been cool to have that as kind of a, a sight as you're walking down this tunnel. Like maybe this could have been a service tunnel and going over that way could have been, the service area or service quarters, but whatever, it is what it is. We'll just keep making what we can make. All right, tunnel is complete. That didn't take too long. It was just, like I said, these mountains are super thin, so it wasn't really that hard to do. So now all we have to do is just build this bridge going across, connect it up with that, and then either decide if we're gonna put a base element in there or just make it look like there's one. So let's just get this across and we'll come up with a design and go from there. So now that we have all these areas updated, you can see different ships in different areas. You can see all the cyan. It shows up cyan on the map, the cyan terracotta. I wish it showed up gray, but maybe it's kind of cool that it shows up blue because it separates a little bit from the stone areas that we have, which helps it stand out a little bit on this map. So you can kind of see what we've been up to all season. And even though you can't get the depth of this as far as how far underground it goes, but the vision of what I wanted really is coming together. I'm really happy with the way this is looking. So I spent the night just chilling, making little designs. I had to go grinding for some end rods because we ran out of blaze rods to make them. And yeah, so I made the little bridge, made the little facade for the building over here. And it's just a fake door. There's nothing behind it yet, but we will put something in there. If you guys have an idea of what to put inside of these things, if we want to dig them out and put a farm in or something cool in there, just let me know in the comments. You can see the little design on this side. I kind of used the same design on both sides, just went along with the terraforming around the area. I didn't really feel like doing too much symmetry or anything. So yeah, right now the doors are just for looks. There's really nothing back there, and I just lost that stone. Give me my stone back. I want to put some stuff in there, but I really would love your guys' input on what we should put in here. If we should do some farms, if we should to just make it look, realistic as far as a base would be concerned. If it was a first order base, what would it look like? Should we put more little building faces on the sides of these hills? I actually want to do one on this hill right here, and I think that would look pretty cool. And as you can see in the distance over here, I started to make a bigger landing platform because this one was just too small for something like that to land. So here's the outline of the landing platform, and you can see the little base elements and bridges all coming together. I think next episode I'll work on making the doors, the piston doors for this side and that side, as well as this other bridge over here, and just add a little bit more details as far as maybe some base elements right here, window peeking into a room over there, maybe a tower up here that leads to that landing platform, maybe connect these landing platforms with another bridge, add some base elements on that side of the hill in the distance. Yeah, I feel like I'm in a good routine here of making these little details for the base that kind of helps the whole design come together. So I keep saying, this vision that I had at the beginning of the season starting to come together. And these little elements in the side of the hill was the main idea that I had. I didn't even have an idea for a tower or anything in the middle. It was more of this stuff that I saw sticking out of the hills because of the way this place is shaped naturally. So we didn't really have to do much terraforming at all, except for making the river and replacing a lot of the stone in this middle section with dirt and grass and adding some trees. But for the most part, the land is kind of how it was shaped when we were given it. Yeah, I'm really, really, really happy with the way this is coming together. I can't really overstate that enough, that this is starting to look like what I thought. So I'm really happy with that. So as the sun sets behind the TIE Striker, just wanted to say thank you guys very much for all the support you've shown this channel. Thank you for watching these videos, for sharing them, for subscribing. It's just been a crazy month, and I can't overstate how thankful I am for each and every one of you. Remember that you're loved and that I appreciate every single one of you. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.